Consus off guard?
I do think he's gonna try it. But only in rounds where he thinks it makes sense. I think he's a very smart player that can like adjust his strategy based on what the round brings him. And I think we're gonna see a very interesting moving game here. Do we wanna get it started?
You know what? Let's get straight into it. Let's get Consus versus Swamgambit. It's moving, and let's see who's gonna come out victorious.
First round here. Let's get the players in. We have a bus stop here. We have some info. I think this sign is Austria exclusive on the
Beautiful
bottom right.
Cambridge as well.
So yeah, Austria would be a pretty small country. So let's see what the players do here. Insta guess from Swamgambit? No.
Maybe. Nope, just
Hasn't
putting the
locked
pin
it
down.
yet.
Yep, putting the pin down. Try and make sure that he's not going to click something wrong. You got the AT, internet domain there as well, just to confirm, and there he's going to go for it. So a little bit of pressure being applied, but again, I mean, Consus a 5K master when it comes to these matches. Those 15 seconds is probably 14 more than he needs.
Don't think he found any info though in this round, so he's just gonna go for the middle guess as well, and they're both close.
Close enough, at least, to get a pretty even start here. Solid one point.
Good start for Consus. 1 damage, huge in the remainder of the game. Maybe it's gonna be the decider. Who knows?
If 6,000 damage is you taking out your opponent, what does 1 damage equivalent to?
Well, it's like
a flick on the ear?
Yeah, if someone like flicks you, yeah. I think it's like
a mosquito, a very soft mosquito bite, maybe, I'm not sure.
No, mosquito bite would be more, I think. But yeah.
Maybe. Maybe.
Mosquito bites can do a lot of emotional damage. We have town names here in Botswana, and the players are already zooming in. Consus is already lining up a road. Now looking down straight at the road to get the right angle, and he realizes this could be the 5K.
Yes, it's on both of them, and it's 30 meters off. Consus is there. He's ready for this one. A solid 5K here in round number 2 of this match. And I think maybe that's the thing where Swamgambit goes, okay, I can't catch him off guard. Like there's maybe I just slow things down, because
if there's info nearby, I don't think he can.
Exactly, because that's the thing for Swamgambit so far. What we saw against Chicago when he played fast, he forced Chicago to also kind of guess a little more sporadically.
Absolutely.
Where Consus, he just gets locked in too fast.
Absolutely, yeah. Consus is too consistent to be really pressured by the quick guesses, but still it could be a good strategy, because you prevent him from getting good info.
True.
He will do a good guess anyways with no info, but if he gets the info, he will be even closer. So it could be worth it to insta-guess in some rounds.
Speaking of good info, seems like there's not a whole lot to go by so far. Having said that, Swan, of course, as we've seen so many times in the past, early guess from him.
And now Consus did find the info, but I don't think that is usable really. Yeah, I don't think he can find this road in time, sadly. So he is closer though. Collecting some points. Could work out in the end.
And that's where he goes. So for Swamgambit now, he's 3 times tried to go for the faster guess. All of the times Consus had come out on top and said, you know what, you're going to give me 15 more seconds to get info? Sure, I'll beat you with it.
I'll do it, yeah.
Let's see if Swan... I feel like either he has to go practically instant or go, you know what, let's just play the full minute because I'm not going to beat you on time anyway.
This is a Brazil round here. We have a lot of clues pointing towards Brazil, and in Brazil, it's a huge country. People are going to go search for area codes, and that's what Consus does immediately. Looking at shop fronts, there's about 70, I think, area codes scattered around Brazil, so they are kind of easy to learn in the grand scheme of GeoGuessr. There's one, 4-5, and that tells him exactly where this location is going to be. It's going to be in Paraná State, and I think Swamgambit also has found the area code, so they're both going to be pretty close, I would assume.
But again, for Consus, I mean, he gets the area code. He can lock down not only the region, but most likely the city as well, now that he has that info too. Still, though, not opting to guess. I feel like he's going to go, you know what? I know I'm going to 5K anyway.
Yeah.
It's on you to try and pressure him. Yeah, I like the mental game of Consus playing in this fashion. Also, I mean, let alone the fact that he's 700 points ahead. If he knows he's not going to lose a round, if he's going to get the time...
He should have maybe just locked it in my opinion.
Yeah.
But yeah, Swamgambit does not know where exactly 4-5 is, because he is in Curitiba, which is the capital of the state, which would have a 4-1 area code. So I think Consus might be closer here, and he is.
Both of them off by a bit. They had the city names on the side, but again, I mean, as you said, big country. It's round 4 and over 2,000 damage done in that one.
We have seen this one before, and Consus 5K'd it 2 rounds ago. It's a Botswana.
Let's see if he can get it once again. If he's going to log it in quickly, if Swan is going to log it even faster. He's now set almost at half health of Consus. So far, Consus not taking any damage as we make our way halfway through this moving round.
Might be some info on that sign, but yeah. I don't see any place names. Let's see if Consus finds anything else. He's opting to move further down the road. And yeah, there's good signs for both players here. And I think they are gonna be able to line up this round again. Maun, really big town. Kang, also findable. So, but yeah, they don't really have it yet. Actually, they are in kind of different regions right now.
I mean, A2 is a long road, going all the way through Botswana. We'll see
Lock from Swamgambit there. I think that makes sense, and yes, Consus is following suit.
Right nearby.
Now they're in the same
Now I might
town.
as well try and 5k, just for the memes, you know? See if he can get it, see if he can log it in. Does he get it?
And no.
No, he does not. Actually, as a matter of fact, a bit further off, so 18 damage done. Consus not immortal in this set of games. We'll see if maybe Swan can do even more in this round to come.
Oh, this might be another country that is quite info heavy. That should be the Philippines. Yeah, it is indeed a Filipino poll. Let's see what the players do here. In Philippines, info is crucial, and Consus being more of the moving expert, he will know that the province names are shown on basically every second sign. So if you find the province of the Philippines, you're gonna be very close. So Swan going for the insta-guess, trying to prevent him from finding anything.
Makes good sense. You know you're up against the guy who might find the info better than you, so limit the time that he is available. Plunks it north side Manila. See if Consus with the 15 seconds available
there was info, but he couldn't use it, I think. Oh, he did.
You said he couldn't. At least he got the island down closer than his opponent. That's all he needed to be. That's gonna be Consus taking Swamgambit out in this moving round. And I feel like, Lindley, this played out as we expected. We're gonna see Swamgambit try and apply pressure the same way, because it worked against CG in the previous game. It worked in the game for him before that. But against a guy like Consus, you don't get to pressure him that way.
He might just be a little bit too good on moving to pressure him like that.
Definitely. Those 15 seconds is all he needed to turn that one around. And had he had just that one extra second himself, which he had but opted not to use it, he might have seen that was not the correct place to be. But into no move we go. Game number 2, Consus again. I mean, in a big need of a win here, sat down in 4th place currently.
The game is far from over, because I think Swamgambit has a lot of momentum going on the no-move games. I think he won every single no-move game so far, as far as I know. So let's see if he can also take down the reigning world champion in it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be our round 1, and it will place us, I believe, in South Africa.
Also, I mean, just to mention it real quickly, clear here that Consus, despite going 0-2 against Sheena, didn't get to his head, still right back into full confidence
play.
He is full
focused.
Also, I want to go back and watch that Sheena Consus game, because the fact that he can get 0-2'd by Sheena off of what we saw with Sheena in the previous game, whether it be mistakes on his part or just phenomenal play on Sheena, that's incredible.
And the good thing is you can watch that game back. It's gonna be on the B stream on YouTube, and there's maybe on the C stream. Who knows? But every game is available to watch it back. We are in South Africa right here. People are lining up roads already.
Is this 10K?
I don't think they're gonna be able to 5K it, but I think they will both be on the correct road here. It's only one big highway going in this area of South Africa, so that's what they both opt for going.
Yeah, a bit further off, both in between. That's going to be early damage done towards Consus. Up ahead by a single round so far, but at least Swamgambit starting off here with a bit of a hit and return.
Right, this round maybe a bit more tricky. Country not immediately obvious. Could even be Poland, potentially, in my opinion.
Uh-oh, Swamgambit put it down as his least favorite place, but also he is Polish.
I wouldn't say least favorite.
Not favorite, but like in terms of his weaknesses, he put that on.
It could be something like Romania as well, though, or like maybe Baltics.
The bullets look pretty unique. Are you telling me those are not?
I have never seen these bullets before, actually.
Oh, okay. Interesting. So if
I think it might be Baltic, actually. Something like Lithuania, Estonia, something like that.
But it's not East Latvia, because then Swamgambit would have guessed it.
If it was East Latvia, then I think Consus is having a big problem here. But they're not sure. They're not sure. We have a Slovakia guessed by Swamgambit.
Okay. Locks it in.
I wonder what Consus is gonna go for. Again, some pressure, but pretty late.
He doesn't even have the map open yet. He's
he has 7 seconds left. Get a guess in, Consus.
We have
going Slovakia as well.
Players don't get the pin down in time. This time around, not going to be the case. as they are equal. I mean, they're practically on top of each other.
It's Ukraine, but
and equally far from the location. 12 points of damage done as these guys sit still, I mean, practically tied.
Practically tied. Interesting that they were both off, but both in the exact same place.
Beautiful.
Some really nice scenery here. With these long dashes on the side of the road, we should be in Norway.
I just like mountains. Maybe that's my thing. I feel like every time I say, oh, beautiful, it's like, oh, there's mountains.
No, mountains. The mountains, I think, are one of the best landscapes to look at in the game of GeoGuessr, for sure. Obviously, that's something that the players will also appreciate. It's not something they can focus on. Don't get distracted by the landscape. You have to make a good guess here.
Can't sit down and mentally paint a beautiful picture. You gotta try and get the guess in. Not necessarily as fast as you can, of course, depending on who you go up against. But for Swamgambit's case, locking down maybe a road here as well, trying to line up some of these streets. When you have a big valley to look over, you can also, of course, try and line up mountains.
Absolutely.
Various paths.
This is kind of a difficult lineup, though, because there's a lot of valleys in Norway like this. They're in a similar region here. I think it's the right region. I think this is where it should look like this. So, yeah. Probably not going to be the biggest amount of points. More south.
Bit further south. Consus was further down for a bit, but then opted to go back further north. So points could have been garnered on his part there. Not too many, though. Over on the side of Swamgambit, just 100 some damage done.
This should be a Japan round again. Let's see if the players know their Japan matters. There's a lot of info to be gained by pole tops, by like the metal plates on the poles, and a lot of people have studied that. Also, a big shout out to the Japanese community, by the way.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Japanese visitors in Stockholm right now. There's also a lot of Japanese players who have done documents about all of the different stuff that you can find on the power poles to help the community.
Amazing.
Share the knowledge and basically make everyone better.
That's one of the things that I like the most about the GeoGuessr community and how there's no private. I mean, there probably is some, but not a lot of private info. It's not like you hawking your own info. I know I don't want to leak it. It's like, you know what? You give me some of your info, I give you some of mine. That way we all become better together. I think that's phenomenal. That's the way all esports should treat
If anyone watching right now wants to get into GeoGuessr with the info publicly available, if you learn all the info publicly available,
just learn all of it.
You would be at a level where you can compete in the World Cup.
Yeah, true.
And that's something cool about the community, in my opinion. We have a central guess by Swamgambit here. A little further west by Consus. Pays off. Pays off.
You know what? I mean, this is yet another round. 2,000 damage done off it. Obviously, Japan, a pretty big country. But this is yet another round where a lot of points could be gathered from either one of these two teams. I'm not going to say they're going out and making mistakes here. But again, for a guy like Consus to be 250 kilometers off, obviously it's because it's an incredibly difficult round to play. They didn't have the direct lineups on any of the poles. But still, those are the rounds where if you're Swamgambit and you only get so many chances at besting a guy like Consus, you need to beat him when he's 200 some kilometers off.
Absolutely, and now we have a very difficult round going into round number 5.
Ooh.
And I'm not 100% sure what this is actually. It could be South America, could be Southeast Asia.
I think it's
considering Philippines or Colombia or something like that. Potentially even Brazil. Let's see what the players do. I think maybe
Are we at least on continent lockdown? In your opinion?
No.
No?
This could be Southeast Asia or South America. I like the Rio guess because the island in the distance kind of looks like the base that you would find around Rio de Janeiro. So I think it's a good guess by Swamgambit. But
does he lock it in fast though, even if he's insecure?
I think he's not confident enough here. Consus is going to the similar region, okay? So I think this game will go on for a little longer.
Hello, Shia. Hello, Blinky in the background. Walking past Consus' camera. Couldn't tell in their faces who won that round. But we'll see.
I think everything fits for Brazil here. I think they are both right. Let's find out where this ends up being. Oh, actually, it's basically same bay right now.
Incredible. Okay. And they should have stayed. Oh, Consus almost had the 5k lineup there, but he opted to go further west right in the end. And because of it, 500 damage is going to go his way. Now, heading on into round number 6. A beautiful city location.
We have some double blue plates, which could put us, for example, in Italy, which I believe this is. We have some nice mountains here. Maybe, actually, mountain knowing could be a factor here, because look at these. They are very, very distinct, right? Maybe it's the Dolomites?
Dolomites? Beautiful. Oh, he's already in. He knew the city instantly. Belluno on the eastern side.
Great guess by Consus. That's kind of a no-moving round, where you have
he's moving knowledge. That's way further west.
Huge guess by Consus.
Massive. Almost a 5k for Consus. Had the city instantly. Obviously, I mean, not a ton of damage done, but still almost 1,000. And Swamgambit, you know what? I saw the smile on his face there for a second. I'm going, oh, now he's playing fast too. That was my thing.
Yeah,
He's starting to steal my thing. I don't know if I like this.
That might be exactly what was going on there. We got a nice Japan round in round 7. Consus picked up points on Japan last time. Maybe you can do it again?
Yeah, but he picked up points, but he was 257 kilometers off.
True.
So there might be a chance for Swamgambit to strike back here. No quick guesses from either of the two players.
Ooh, I believe we're all the way south in Kyushu here, if I judge that transformer correctly. I might be wrong. It is quite difficult. But yeah, we see a Kyushu guess by Swamgambit. So maybe I'm right. We see a Kyushu guess by
early guess.
Consus as well.
I say early, not quite, but guess nonetheless coming through for first for Swamgambit. Consus,
similar area.
Yeah, looks similar, but still, I mean, 4 times damage. Japan, big place. It is going to be Consus that's going to be closer in this one once again. 672 damage done. That's 2014 points is what Swamgambit has left if it does not want to lose this one 2-0 to Consus.
And this round is probably one that Consus wants, because this looks to me like Indonesia.
Ooh.
However, I think Consus' advantage is not going to be as big here, because we have some region-specific poles that Consus is just zooming into, with 2 insulators on one side and 1 insulator on the other that should be exclusive to the province of North Sumatra. So I would expect both players to know that. If not, also possible, because you might not even get the country here.
This goes back to the whole, just learn the whole world.
Exactly, just learn everything.
Just learn. I mean, it's a very easy formula to being the best in the world at GeoGuessr. Just learn the whole thing.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. Just do it. I don't know. If you're watching right now, you want to be here next year, just learn everything.
Just learn everything.
The thing is, we have players like Spaghetti, for example, who started playing around a year and a half ago.
True.
So you can be at this level very quickly.
There are people that definitely have sponge brains that will just soak in all the info and store it and use it in ways that I could never even imagine. These guys are going to be a bit able to bring this one home. Big damage going to come through, 2,000
on
that
Indonesia.
Massive takeaway from Consus. I think for a while there, Consus thought he had it home, but not quite to be as we head into round number 9. Huge also for Swan, because if we are, again, just a reminder, headed into round 10 here, and we don't get a clear winner by the end of round 10, it's the player that had the most health left at the end of round 10 that will win. So massive for Swamgambit to be able to breach the gap a bit in his and Consus' point.
Absolutely, and this is also not the easiest round. I thought Argentina here maybe.
Okay.
One of the possibilities, maybe in the western mountains of Argentina. I think the power poles would fit, and I think the sign is geared up for right-hand drive. So yeah, shouldn't be something like a different continent.
I love it that if you aren't sure, hopefully they aren't quite sure either, and we'll get some good guesses.
Quick lock.
Consus, though, one of a couple only quick guesses for him. Instantly a second guess in to follow, and I think that's going to be Consus out victorious here. Yes, it will be. 4,000 damage done from going 0-2 against Sheena just before. He 2-0 Swamgambit instantly after.
This gets the group to a very interesting point. I think it's super open now. I am very excited to see the result of the other game.
Yeah.
Because I think Consus now puts himself in a pretty good spot.
Definitely. And also, I mean, it's really interesting how the mental games are going to be off of this, because they're both kind of in reverse of how they just played. We saw Swamgambit pretty decisively take out CG in a 2-0 fashion. Consus was on the losing end of that. Now that's reversed. So how do they both now come into their next games?
Exactly. I think it's going to be super exciting. And if you don't want to miss the next game of Consus, it's not going to be on the A stream, but you can watch it on one of the others.
Have all of them open. If you have a big TV, just put them all in there. Watch all the games.
Open more tabs.
You have to learn everything anyway, so you might as well just keep all the streams open at the same time. But we are truly, Lenny, being blessed with some phenomenal
gameplay.
GeoGuessr games here. But you know what? Now let's hop on down to our reigning world champion and hear what he has to say after that 2-0 win over Swamgambit.
Consus, you won 2-0 in an amazing fashion. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm kind of back in the running again, I feel like, so I'm relieved with that. But and I think it was a pretty good game, so I'm also happy with that, yeah.
Yeah, speaking of being back in the running, like if you look at how you've played kind of the whole day, How do you feel now after having a match like that?
Well, there's only one game left. I still have plenty of chances. So, but overall with the day, I'm not so happy. I make too many mistakes. Another it's a mix of good guesses and very big mistakes. So.
Yeah, do you feel like some of that is maybe coming from nerves, or what do you think's going on?
I don't really feel that nervous today. I think it's mostly, I don't know, maybe a bit of lack of focus on the right moments. Or, yeah, I can't really explain it.
Yeah, well, you did really great that game. You got one more left. Good luck.